Welcome to beautiful Ray Skillman Stadium. This is this week's version of the Allstate Bontrager Insurance Agency pregame report. Coach, the Trojans are coming off a major victory, kind of shocked the state to let everybody know we're back. You better watch out for Center Grove with a very, very strong victory against Ben Davis last week. And knowing that, coming in against a team that quite frankly is struggling, how do you go about the preparation against North Central?
Well, let's talk about Ben Davis' victory first. They were ranked number 1 in the state and quite deserving of that ranking because I felt they were the most talented team in the state. They had great size, great speed, and they were going to be a problem for us. We had a great game plan offensively going in. I think we stayed right on track with that and never left, even though we didn't score a bunch of points to score what we needed. And the defense had a great lockdown game plan. And basically, it's one of the few times we didn't give up a big play against Ben Davis. I know the quarterback got away once for a touchdown, but other than that, we really didn't give up a big play. And you're able to stay in the game when that's the situation and make them kick field goals or attempt to kick field goals, and we scored touchdowns. And it was a great night. Probably the most physical football game I've seen since maybe the Avon and the semi-state. Those two games are probably two of the most physical games I've seen in 5 or 6 years.
It was physical, and one of the neat things to see is, yes, Russ had a great game, but our up front linemen really took over. You compare that to the Warren game, fast forward 4 weeks later, and they really controlled up front the line of scrimmage.
Well, we'll never get the Warren game back, and when you lose your warrior leader like Titus McCoy in the second possession, and then you lose Trevor Holt on throughout the game, that just threw us a big curve that we really hadn't anticipated, even though you give kids chances in practice, putting young guys in there. And then it cost us, we had to move Rush East around a lot in that game. And since then, we've simplified what he does and kept him in a couple spots and really let him be an athlete and be a player. And Friday night, he showed us something that I hadn't seen as of yet, and that he can be really physical and run between the tackles. And it beat him up a little bit, it beat us up a little bit, but Clay Hadley and Nick Davis and Bailey Smith and Dylan Bromlett, and Ethan Hart, and even the backup come in, Snow come in and made a good play. Our offensive line was great. We moved Corey Heinrichs to tight end just to give us that lockdown guy on tight end that could grab a hold of Ben Davis and say, hey, you're not going anywhere. And Corey did a great job of run blocking. So it was a real physical contest for us, and we're glad to be done with that. Really excited about the victory, and now we're on to trying to win 3 MIC games in a row.
Yeah, and when you look at North Central, they've had their struggles as well when it comes to injuries. They lost their main defensive end / linebacker player for the year, the first week of the season. Really tough to see that. He's a great kid. They also do have returning a pretty good defensive back that's getting a lot of attention from D1 schools, and they are athletic. Their record doesn't necessarily show it, but they are athletic and they can present some problems.
Well, when people ask why can't they win? Winning comes and goes, and that's a hard question. They're a better football team than their record. They're a better football team than they were last year. I do think they'll have some success as the year goes through at some point. I just hope they don't get success tonight at Ray Skillman Stadium. But I will say this: their defensive line is very fast and moves around, is big and strong. When they give up a play, I think it hurts them mentally, like any high school team. When you start giving up plays, then physically and mentally you sort of let down. Their safety is as good as anybody we've seen. Their offense does a good job. They run the football more this year than they ever have, and I think that slowed people down and not able people to get big runs on them and big leads. They've taken the game clock down. The quarterback does a great job of running the football. It's going to be a contest for us tonight. And you worry because we're a little bit beat up, and we're just still a little bit tired from that game, a little bit of a hangover effect. And I think it will affect Ben Davis tonight playing a physical game with us when they play Warren. I don't think they can be successful as well. So I'm hoping that we can suck it up somehow and come out with a victory.
This is also a fun night for you. When you came here to Center Grove, you put a lot of emphasis and time into the Center Grove Bantam Football League, and tonight we get to celebrate Bantam night, Center Grove Bantam football. A lot of the future players will be coming through the helmet tonight, all the way from your flag teams through 6th grade, and it's always neat to see you out there greeting them before the game starts.
Man, I love it. It's grassroots. Grassroots in any sport and any activity is what it's all about. Wanting those kids to come and be at the games and have fun, and now there's a place for every daggone person to sit in the Ray Skillman Stadium. So Really excited to see them come down the track. It's so funny to watch them take off running, and their first experience in front of a big crowd. Really appreciate the coaches that come through that tunnel with them all the time, all the volunteer time they put in. Those are the greatest men in the community. We have the greatest Bantam complex, and we have the greatest program down there for our youth from 2nd to 6th grade that anybody in the state, maybe anybody in the country. Match it against anyone. Call me up if they don't think so. So really appreciate all they do. It's a great night to be a Trojan when you can bring all your Bantam football players in here, and hopefully you can win in front of them.
It's going to be a nice, comfortable evening. Make sure you come out, support the Trojans. Coach, we wish you all the luck, and let's get 4 in a row.
Okay. Hey, good luck to the Trojans tonight. Please come out and see us. Go Trojans.